Up next on the list, we got the Jaguars. The Jaguars' offense continues to struggle, and this is largely due to mediocre quarterback play from Trevor Lawrence. You got to ask yourself, is it time to move on from Trevor Lawrence? I mean, I personally think he's a fringe top 12 option, but I don't see him providing a league winning upside at any point this season. I would recommend packaging Trevor Lawrence and maybe a flex player and trying to go after a guy like Justin Herbert, especially if your team is struggling and you don't have time to wait for Trevor Lawrence to figure things out. What do you guys think about this? Is Trevor Lawrence a guy who you're like, let me try to buy low on him right now, or is he kind of a guy who you're like, I think it's time to move on?
So I'll step in on this one. So I think the whole Jags offense is a buy low right now. Look, the last 6 weeks of last year, Trevor Lawrence was a top 3 quarterback. He was showing why he was elite. They bring in Calvin Ridley. They get off to a hot start. They have 2 duds back to back. You know, it's definitely disappointing, but they're going to get this thing turned around. There's too much talent. Ridley, Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, Etienne, T-Law. That's a match made in heaven. Look, now you're not going to be able to flip him for Herbert. Herbert's the QB2 on the year right now.
Yeah, it would be
He's
more
going
like
crazy. You're not getting Herbert for Lawrence plus unless your plus is really good.
Yeah.
But if you have Justin Fields or if you have let's see, maybe Deshaun Watson or something like that, if you could get T-Law, you better do it now because it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So I have T-Law in my big money league, and I'm 0-3.
Big fucking money too.
I'm 0-3. I don't really know what the fuck to do.
Look, Brennan. Look,
what's up, man?
let me look. So
let him coach you up. Let him coach you up. Bro.
Well, no, look. Last week, Trevor Lawrence had 4 passes that hit his wide receiver's hands in the end zone.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They've had this season. I will say I've noticed, bro. They've had like 4 or 5 like drop touchdowns or like.
Yeah, I want to say just
like,
not even week 3 though.
Yeah, the week 1.
If you look back to week 2, they had like 4 touchdowns that I saw where he just threw it out the back of the end zone and his player was stepping on the line. Ridley ran into the goalpost. Or actually, Midley.
Yeah,
ran into the goalpost.
Yeah, so like if those plays hit, like we're looking at them in a totally different light. So I mean, and I just think it's. I mean, I'm saying I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna hold for now just because I don't really like my rest of my team to really trade up or trade down really. So I just think it's simple in that in the NFL, talent wins out, and Trevor Lawrence has talent in bunches, and he's got talent all around him. So I think he pulls through. I think they pull.
Yeah, man. And if you've been watching the game, he's been diming. You can't look at the box scores. So his wide receivers lead the league in drops with 9. And guess what? Trevor Lawrence leads the league in big time throws per PFF with 9. And guess what? It ain't adding up. When they do add up, you're looking at a top 6, top 7 option, which is where he was drafted. I mean, it's going to be good for this offense on the back half of this year. So buy low while you can.
So look, I agree with some of those throws that were out the back of the end zone, but let's not act like some of that's not on him. You know, as a quarterback, you got to place it where the receiver can not only catch it, but he can catch it in bounds. They were good throws, but if he's not catching it in bounds, he has to take some of that responsibility.
In my opinion, it's like this is going to sound bad, but how much longer can we defend this guy? I mean, he was coming into the NFL as like one of the most elite quarterback prospects ever. And I just feel like based off of those expectations, he hasn't lived up to that. Like guys who weren't as highly touted as him coming out of college are outperforming him in the NFL.
Well, man,
I just feel like he hasn't lived up to the expectations that we had set for him.
So look, first year was pretty bad. Last year started off pretty bad. Second half of last year, he went on a tear, man. He was throwing for 3 and 4 touchdowns every game. And guess what? Gets into the playoffs. This dude, Justin Herbert, you're talking about, he whips his fucking ass in the playoff. Comes up 30-point deficit, one of the biggest deficits of all time. Trevor Lawrence comes back, throws for 4 touchdowns, and takes the lead. You think someone who's not elite is doing that in their second year in the league? Dude, you better get on the T-Law train right now because you're going to miss out.
I disagree that was an ass whipping in the playoffs considering he was down 31 points. But that's neither here nor there. I have a question for Sap, and I want to ask it right now. Start, bench, cut, rest of the season. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Geno Smith. Let me hear it.
Start, bench, cut the rest of the season.
T-Law, Deshaun Watson, Geno Smith. Which way we going?
Damn.
Put your fucking sack on the table. Tell me who you starting right now.
You don't want to ask
All right.
me. That's
don't,
for sure.
Don't think
Yeah.
about it, dog. Don't think about
Don't
it.
ask him. I'm probably gonna if I gotta start bench cut, I'm gonna start Geno. I'll cut Deshaun and I'll bench T-Law.
So we starting Geno,
Say that again. You said that
benching
messed up.
T-Law, and cutting Deshaun. He went out of order there, but we got it.
Yeah.
We're clipping Deshaun.
Yeah.
Cutting him by the ball.
And it's not to say I feel like Deshaun could actually have the. You know what? Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. I ain't doing that. I'm so full of shit. Forget Geno's performances last year. I do like Geno. I think he's I think he's a good serviceable quarterback. But we're gonna cut Geno's ass.
You just said you were starting.
There
him.
we go.
Like,
Now
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?
Hey,
right
get
now?
his ass out of here.
I'm full of shit. I'm gonna start Deshaun because he's coming back, baby. Deshaun's coming back.
You
We're
were
starting
cutting him like 30 seconds.
Yeah, shut up. Ain't nobody asked. We're starting Deshaun. We're benching Trevor Lawrence, and Geno can get his ass out of here.
There we
Straight
go.
up.
Now we talking. Hey,
Next question.
he ain't right
Next
back.
question.
All right. No further questions.